What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin with Optimized Essentials, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about sexual transmutation once again, right? Now, the reason why I love this topic so much is because when I read it in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, when I first came across this subject of sexual transmutation, right? Chapter 11, the mysteries of sexual transmutation, I was instantly intrigued. He talked a lot about how successful people use the emotion of sex and they transform it or transmute it into that of another nature, and then it brings to them more success, more wealth, right? More abundance, and especially for men, more women. Now, if you're a woman watching this, I've gotten the question before in a comment in one of my videos, how do you do this for women, right? How does this apply to women? Because everything that is on YouTube nowadays is targeted towards men. And I told her, or commented or responded, that it kind of works the same way. It's only targeted mostly to men because it's a lot more powerful for men to transform the raw aggression, the raw desire to have success. It applies more to them because the power of semen it's more applicable to the physicality of men, okay? But I'll explain transmuting energy, right, in general in this video, because Sexual Transmutation 101, we're gonna be talking about the basics of just transmuting energy. What does it mean to transform your energy, to transmute your energy? And then we'll tie it back into sexual energy so that you guys have a better understanding of what I'm talking about, okay? So, as we went over Sexual Transmutation 101, the complete basics, I drew A and B, okay? Now, I'll explain this right now. I'll give you Napoleon Hill's quote. It's almost like the first or second line within his chapter. He says, "The meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another." Now, in terms of transmuting your sexual energy or transmuting energy in general, my translation is turning one feeling or sensation into another, okay? Now, I'll give you 3 examples, and if any of them pop up throughout my, video, I'll include them. But number 1, because I work out, the easiest way I can explain this for other men who work out is the pain of being weak, or that, frustration of not looking good, right? You see all these Instagram guys, all these aesthetic models, all these jacked up, high on gear type of bodybuilders. You see them, right? That pain of being weak, of not looking good. And you turn that into motivation. You turn that into the desire or aggression to get better, to get stronger, to look better, to lift with more intensity, right? That's how half of the time. In the beginning, I was more motivated. I was more inspired when I saw people like Jeff Said, I forgot his name. I remember looking at this guy, I'm like, wow, dude, this guy looks so good. And I remember watching Frank Yang, right? This guy was like sleeping with a bunch of women. I'm like, I want to look like that. I want to look like that. And I remember after 2-3 years of lifting heavy, lifting, with good form, strict mind-muscle connection, I was like, man, I was satisfied with my result, but I was like, it's not good enough, right? I wasn't happy with it. I was like, why can't I look as good as these guys, right? There was a feeling of discontent. There was a feeling of dissatisfaction, right? And if you work out, if you are into the aesthetic life, you're into bodybuilding, maybe you're a girl, you see other girls with big booties on Instagram, maybe you see them with a thin waist, and you're just like, why can't my butt look like that, right? So there's 2 things that could happen. One is you just wallow in like, I just can't do it because maybe my genetics are crap. Maybe I just don't have the discipline. I don't have the drive. There's 2 possibilities. That's the first one. That's the self-pity, wallowing in self-doubt. And then the second one, which I tapped into, was turning that pain of weakness and frustration into, I'm going to work out even harder. I'm going to be even more disciplined. I'm going to be even more on top of my workout, right? I'm going to work out so much. Not so much, but I'm going to do it so well that people are going to be like, wow. Now, I'm quite far away from my goal, but that's still my driving force. You get what I'm saying? I would say the large majority of my working out years, or still, I never really used protein shake. I never really used any form of supplement, right? I'll see if I can pull up a picture of my leanest years kind of embarrassing to post it, but I don't mind sharing, how far I got without taking any protein, without taking any form of supplement. That was when I was super driven, super, I wanted it, right? I really wanted it. That was the leanest I've ever gotten in my life, okay? And I would argue it's probably one of my peak shapes. I would argue, though, also, just to detour a little bit, my prime, my peak form, my highest form, right? My highest Super Saiyan, I haven't achieved that yet. The time is yet to come, and I full-heartedly believe in that. Maybe when I'm around 30-ish, I'll probably be my peak shape. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, woman, all right? If you're a man watching this, yes, this is going to be targeted towards you. The pain and frustration of not being good enough or attractive for women, right? Being turned down, taken advantage of, or walked all over, being friend-zoned, etc. To transmute your energy, to transmute that feeling or sensation of not being adequate, of not being good enough, not being attractive to women, you could turn that pain and frustration, again, into the drive and ambition and motivation of, I'm going to be so good, I'm going to look so good one day, I'm going to be so successful one day that you're going to be on your knees begging for me, That's the idea of transmuting, not sexual energy, but transmuting one feeling into another. I know it sounds kind of pity, but that's essentially what a lot of people do. A lot of artists, I'll tie that into number three. I kind of jumped the gun, but right? Anyhow, turning that pain and frustration into the burning desire to get better, meaning you might start to excel at fitness, you might start to get in shape, you might want to level up your lifestyle practices so that you become more attractive and sexy. Maybe the thought of looking like a badass or a sexy model one day will motivate you to take action. Maybe the thought of a woman who turned you down is now texting you like crazy to get you to hang out with her, right? Hang out. Maybe that thought of her wanting you back, right? Turning you down now, and you're like, I'll show you. I'm going to get so successful that you're going to regret turning me down, right? That's how you transform one energy, right? One desire or one feeling or sensation into another, right? Sexual Transmutation 101, turning the pain and frustration of A, right? Think of that as like low-level emotion, low-level behavior, turning that into B, a blue, higher emotion or behavior. You get that? That's how you transmute your energy. Okay, number three. Again, we're using all of these are kind of similar, tying together, inadequacy. Synonymously, this is the driving force behind many successful artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, etc. They were essentially the black sheeps or the people who are looked down on in the school system, okay? Their teachers, their peers, their coaches, or any other person in authority might have told them, you're not going to amount to anything, right? You're never going to be successful in your life. If you can't read or write, if you're getting C's and D's in school, you ain't shit, right? You suck, you're stupid, you're not disciplined, you can't achieve anything in your life, okay? You've heard of many success stories, you've heard of many people who talk about how they took that as fuel, right? They took that as motivation and they progressed it, okay? But again, I jumped the gun. So two possibilities can spring from this. Number one, he or she accepts a narrative and becomes a nothing in life, excessively uses drugs to cope for their inadequacy, in a sense, self-sabotaging or self-destructing because they believe they are weak, they are stupid, they're unintelligent, they don't have what it takes. That's one possibility. The second possibility is that he takes that as fuel, right? He or she rejects the narrative and adopts his or her own belief or version of, you don't know me, I'll show you, shaking their fists. One day I'm gonna be so successful that you're gonna be my waiter, you're gonna be my waitress, you're gonna be serving me, you're gonna be like my slave, right? Basically, you're gonna be my bitch. That's the idea behind transmuting your energy. You can either take the same stimulus of you suck, you're not good enough, you ain't shit. You can take that, put it into the fire, the internal flame of your being, and transform it into something of a better nature, okay? Now, something did pop up as I was saying that. Shit, I kind of forgot. Transforming of one nature. Oh, yes. Okay. Everything in life is shifting, molding, shifting. It's the yin and the yang, the cycle of life going back and forth, right? all of your painful experiences, I want you to think about this, right? If you've ever had depression, if you ever had the dark night of the soul, where you feel like there's no meaning in life and you're just like, why am I here? What am I doing all of this for? Just super down and depressed. Or something happened, a family member died, etc., etc. You've transmuted your experience, whether consciously or unconsciously. If this event happened 5-10 years ago, if it wasn't for this event, it wouldn't have spurred you in the other direction, right? The pendulum swings the other direction of you becoming the man or the woman now because of that event. So that event, maybe it was good, maybe it was bad, got transmuted into a good or a bad event in the future. You get it? So things are always transforming, things are always transmuting. So the more of the story, transmutation is essentially transmuting one emotion, feeling or sensation into the other by essentially transforming it, right? Let's see, this takes practice. It's not always easy, but in essence, this is what you're doing. Again, you're taking A and you're turning it into B. Potentially, you could turn it back into A if you wanted it. Spiritual energy comes into you. You transform it back into physical, dense energy. And then that dense physical energy, you transmute it into B. If it helps, think of this as an ice cube. You melt the ice cube, it evaporates into steam. That's B. You can also potentially collect the moisture into water, condense it back into A. I think it's more efficient to turn A into B, okay? We want to turn a lower level emotion, a more dense, raw, primal emotion into a higher nature. So what does this have to do with sexual transmutation? I'm going to wrap this up quickly, or I'll briefly go over it, because for all the men out there, shameless plug, if you want to get a program on sexual transmutation, check out Sexual Manifestation. If you don't want to invest, at least read the free version so you understand what sexual transmutation is. I spent a lot of time investigating what sexual transmutation is, what, transmuting your sexual energy feels like. I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. And if you're liking this video so far, at least give it a thumbs up so it can boost the algorithm and more people can see it. Anyhow, how does this apply to sexual transmutation? Same exact essence, okay? Let's say there's a girl in school, right? This has anything to do with sexual transmutation, but one more example, okay? Let's say she really wants to please her parents, okay? She wants to really please her parents. She wants to study a lot, right? She wants the approval, the validation of, oh, you did a good job, right? It's an Asian girl, Asian family. You did a good job. You got the A+, you did really good. You did really good. I give you the $5. Or you buy a cartoon, you buy them an anime character or a video game. She wants that approval of mommy and daddy approves you. You did really good. So her motivation of that desire of wanting that approval, right, from mom and dad causes her to act, right? Causes her to act, study, spend hours in the library, sacrificing her social life to get the good grade, okay? To get the A+. Okay, you get that? Now, sexual transmutation, same thing. You have that primal, I want to fuck, I want that big booty, right? I want that girl in the yoga pants. I want that girl, ooh, she just looks so beautiful. Ooh, 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 ooh. You get what I'm saying? You really want it, right? You really want it. Well, guess what? You can turn that I really want it into, you can condense it, right? You can transform it, you can transmute it, you can circulate it. You can turn that raw power, that raw aggression into, I'm gonna be more successful at my job. Now this works better, in my opinion, when an actual female is around, right? If you're just working with that raw sexual desire when you're alone, that's gonna be a little bit more risky. You might pop open your phone and go through Pornhub or whatever porn sites are out there, Forgot, guys, I haven't watched porn in a long time. But essentially, if there is a girl in the room, she's very, very beautiful. The easiest example I always use is at the gym, right? She's really, really beautiful, very, very attractive. And you're like, she walks in and, maybe you're at the tail end of your set. Maybe you're about to be finished with your workout session. You're all tired and stuff. You're like, I don't want to do this. I'm fucking tired. And then a beautiful girl just walks past you. And then suddenly you get invigorated with sexual energy or passion and desire for her. And then you're just like, 3 more sets. yeah. You get what I'm saying? That is transmuting sexual energy, because you can't physically express your desire towards her. It gets turned into another form. A, whoop, to B, right? The desire for physical contact, whoop, turns into B. Now, when it comes down to your own sexual energy, you can transmute that raw sexual desire, and you can, right, breathe and circulate it into other areas of your body, into your auric field, into your magnetic field. And it can make you more attractive on a vibrational level, because we're vibrational beings, we're energetic beings, right? You can turn that raw, dense sexual energy and you can raise it up your spine, you can circulate into your body, you can turn that raw fuel into different energy centers and activate the power, the latent abilities associated with those powers. And that's how the yogis, right? That's how the people, the master meditators, master spiritual beings awaken their chakras, awaken their siddhis, right? Because they're converting, they're not allowing that desire, the sexual impulse, the sexual energy to leak out of their body. They're just like circulating constantly, and they're vibrating at a very high level. And that's why the higher your vibration, the higher your vibrational frequency, on the emotional guidance scales, the higher you go, right? The more higher vibrational emotions you experience, the more things you attract, the more things you manifest. And that's why my program is called Sexual Manifestation, right? You're a sexual man that manifests. Anyhow, I hope you kind of got the gist of it. It's being able to change one feeling, emotion, or sensation into the other. It takes practice, but now that you are aware of this formula, all you have to do is see how you can apply it in your own life. And it always works better when you have a physical female or a physical male at your side. Now, I forgot to address the woman aspect of it quickly before we wrap up. You see Beyonce and Rihanna and like all these sexual dancing stars. Women are sexual by nature. Like, they're very sensual by nature. I shouldn't say sexual. They're very sensual by nature. They don't really have to try much to manipulate their sexual energy, right? They don't have like semen to suck up their spine, but they become even more sensual. They become even more sexual, right? They give you that Marilyn Monroe look, right? They might turn their voice into, submissive little girls and give you that eye, that, ooh, that fucky eye, sucky vai, right? Honestly, I'm not a girl, so I can't tell you how women transmute their sexual energy, but I think women have a much easier time doing it. I think it just happens naturally. You should do things that allow you to be more feminine, allow you to be more sensual, more sexual, and just operate from that mode of being, but you don't want to look too slutty, right? You want to be able to have that fine, like, dance between I'm very sensual, but I'm not overly slutty. Basically what I'm trying to say. So, guys, if you enjoyed that video, again, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you have any questions. The more you engage with this video, if you want to help support me, the more it gets boosted in the algorithm and the more people see it. And win for everybody, okay? You have a good one. Peace. See you in the next one.